So,
Yeah.
yes, thank you, Walter, and thank you to your team for hosting this event and also for having me. Today, I have about 15 minutes to talk about smart city technologies, and I wanted to touch primarily on three main topics: the role of PropTech in smart city developments, the slow rate of technology adoption in real estate, and the way how we can accelerate that development in the digitalization process. So to begin with, I actually been working for a company called Reimagining Cities Foundation. For the past 4 years, I've been actively engaging with different smart city ecosystem stakeholders, uh, uh, mayors and technology providers and real estate developers. And when you talk with them about smart cities, all of them have a different understanding of what smart city means. And although the organizations like International Standard Organization has the definition of what smart city is, they still have a little bit different emphasis. So a lot of people say that, it's about 5G, it's big data. Some people say it's a smart governance. Another will say that it's building optimization. And you can see over here, there is a ton of things and ton of concepts and buzzwords that you hear when you talk about smart city. And it just creates a lot of confusion, and it disables us to have like a holistic framework around smart cities. And you see, you go to the conference and people will always say, but what about people? It's not only about technology. What about people? So when we encounter these kind of things, we came up with these smart city pillars, and trying to make sense of all that chaos and trying to put all these buzzwords into the different categories. And we came up with these 7 categories of smart cities. And it just made it a little bit easier for us to have this roadmap towards the smart development. And we defined the smart city as the one that has sustainability. And sustainability meaning the focus on three P: people, planet, profit. Um, and you can see over here that from all of these elements and technologies that go into the smart city, our primarily focus and the reason why we gathered here today is to talk about the smart building, because PropTech actually, as we all know, plays an enormous role in smart building. So we have this framework. We talk about the smart building. Of course, smart mobility is important, infrastructure, 5G, it's all the part of the game. But I wanted to have a little throwback to PropTech. I think I did this research a couple of years ago, maybe in 2018 or 19. The company called Venture Scanner was coming up with these maps and trying to create the classification for PropTech companies. And I remember creating this slide and seeing that from all these categories, 7 out of them were actually part of the smart building. So, for example, things like commercial search or insurance or agent tool, they're of course an enormous part of property technology of PropTech. But the growth in the potential of the technologies that you see over here in the 7 categories that are part of smart building, we thought even at that time that is going to be a huge driver for the creation of these smart cities. So there are a couple of reasons why cities want to become smart, and this is the primarily 3 reasons. And we got this through a lot of research, a lot of talking with local governments, and it's for 3 main reasons: it's economic growth, it's livability, and sustainability. You can read from here from this slide what each of these things mean. And when we working on a smart city project, we emphasize this the framework in our approach to smart city, that there needs to be a model, a governance model, and we adopted that from the quadruple helix model. I think maybe a lot of you are familiar with this. We visited the smart city development in Japan. It was called Kashiwanoha Smart City. And what we learned was that they have this organization called the Urban Design Center Kashiwanoha. And this was the governance body behind the smart city development that actually combined each different stakeholders: private, public, academia, and people. So this framework that has this model, the governance model, was one of the more important elements to have in the creation of a smart city development. The second one is innovation district, because we believe that innovation district is going to be the cluster, the business cluster of knowledge, services, technologies, talent, and that is going to be essentially the driver for the economic growth, to create the jobs, to have the business. A couple of elements for the innovation district is having the anchor institution or anchor tenant, be it a university or research center, maybe hospital, and you have those clusters of innovation. And the main enabler for this, for all of this development, will be the data and digital twin technologies. And we understand that the desired objectives of the cities are a little bit different from the ones that of the developers. And I wanted to show and share with you this project that we've been working on. This is a $6 billion US project in Mississauga. It's in Canada. Mississauga is the sixth largest city there. It's actually the fastest growing city in the Greater Toronto area. And you can see that this is going to be a pretty big mixed-use development, has the hotels, schools, residential, and over here on the purple is going to be an innovation district. So we're helping the developer to create this smart city framework, and we were very lucky that the city itself had a couple of very important studies or plans in place. So one of them were the Mississauga City Smart City Master Plan. They also had the Climate Action Plan. And what our role was as advisor to our client, we aligned the interest of the city together with the objectives of the development. And we came up with these 5 desired objectives of employment, job creation, digital innovation, climate positive community, smart mobility, and health and well-being. And when we talk about these kind of developments, a lot of companies, especially technology companies, they all say, but what about technology? What kind of technology are you going to use? Are you going to have 5G? Will you have smart parking? But we wanted to take a step back and approach this from a different angle, from the desired outcomes. And what it enabled us to do, it enabled us to shortlist the technologies that we needed to have for each of these desired outcomes to actually become a reality. And we have this quadruple helix model of public, private, academic, community partnership. And essentially what it enables us to do is to identify and shortlist the target partners and create this ecosystem of technology, of universities. And you can see the companies that we're talking to right now while working on this project. So having said all of that, when we look at the entire smart city, the concept, I think it's very important to make a little bit of the distinction and differentiation between smart city platforms that are usually used for the government agencies and those the platforms that they collect the data and easier for different departments to track and exchange it, and they have different objectives than the real estate. But also for a development like Lakeview Village, where the main owner, of course, the main owner is our local developer. For them, their objectives are a little bit different. And in order for them to have a good synergy and to reach their goals, the creation of this open data platform where they share the data and can create the different kind of application and services and drive that innovation and economic growth, this will be the perfect scenario that we want to see. But when it comes to digital twins for real estate, we of course encounter a number of issues, and especially one of them is the slow rate of adoption of technology. And but why it's important and why real estate needs to embrace sustainability and cannot go away from that is actually what was really nicely put by Brendan Wallace. He's the managing director of the Fifth Wall company, the venture capital company. So he was talking about this topic, I guess in some of the conferences for ULI. And he mentioned three main drivers why real estate industry needs to care about the smart, sustainable approach to the portfolio. And the three main reasons will be the market force, because the investors are actually looking for those smarter and sustainable developments. It's a tenant demand. We know that majority of the workforce right now is millennials and Generation Z. So they are demanding different kind of work environment, and they want things to be flexible. They care about environmental sustainability. They want to have flexibility. And another third main reason will be the proactive risk management of climate legislation. So these forces actually are making the real estate industry to embrace the technology so that they can address these issues and embrace sustainability. But a lot of things from this side, as you can see, is a part of the existing portfolio in built environment. And the project that I was talking about earlier, Lakeview Village, is a part of the new development. It's a greenfield. So why would then they want to embrace sustainability and smartness? Is primarily because they want their development to be commercially successful. So they want to create these places with that can act as a living labs for live, work, and play. They want it to be data driven so that they can make better decision about what to put in retail, or in the whole process of the design, build, and operate. They want to have the decisions that are data driven, data based. And of course, it would be great for if the development has net zero water, waste, energy, clean air, and safety. So it was very interesting. I got this insight from a colleague of mine, Ivan Norkin. He's the head of the Proptech Russia, and he shared with me this set of two slides, and I was just fascinated because the estimated digital coverage of all buildings right now is 0.8%. I'm sure that we're all familiar with the edge building, and this is like where we want to be in terms of like sustainability and smartness. But right now, the average adoption in the number of buildings that are not at that level, you can see the numbers over here. And the reason why we believe that the adoption of technology is this slow is because there are a lot of companies, and this is the slide I'll share with you now. You can see how the global PropTech landscape looks like. There are just 100,000 of companies doing similar things. It's oversaturation of the market. It's the information asymmetry, and a lot of the solutions that they provide actually not solving the actual problems. They create the problem and they give the solution to that problem. And especially when the tech companies talk with, for example, our developer, or talk with the city in order to win the procurement, the project, I think they coming off as, so what do you want? I can do everything. Under the law of physics, I can do anything. But this is not the right approach. I think if they can understand the holistic framework and the desired outcomes that either the city or the development want, I think they will be able to narrow down their pitches better and get the project. The solution that we see for that is, instead of the developer talking with 10, 15 separate companies and having to log into one platform to another platform, talk with this company and coordinate with that, if we had integrated platform that is showing the developer or showing the portfolio manager or CFO, CIO, the things that you need to see in. This is where we see this creation of the digital twin initiative is very important. We do this right now as a company with our partners and trying to tackle down this adoption of technology in real estate. How can it be done easier in like the initial stages of it? Focusing on primarily on three main areas: energy, health, and space, and provide them with the executive dashboards that shows them how are we doing right now. Has the measurable objectives showing the real-time KPIs and the biggest opportunities where they can save money and improve their financial performance and sustainability. And this is something that we are creating right now with different also PropTech companies. And just to sum up everything that I just said, there are different areas where PropTech companies can be of real value, be it for the existing portfolio of hundreds, thousands buildings, be it for green new developments. But they need to understand the holistic framework and what value they want to bring and what issues they want to solve. And in order to do that, having this collaboration and having the dialogue and being open to different stakeholders, I think that's going to be essential. So I want to wish a good luck to all the companies that are going to pitch today. If any of this was interesting to you, I'll be more than happy to answer the questions and take it from here. So thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. That was amazing. I have just a couple of questions for you. Is that okay?
Yes, sure. And I hope it wasn't too much. I have a feeling that it was a bit too much.
So you talked a little bit about integration. Is integration for you the most important thing to really realize those smart cities?
Integration of a digital twin platform or integration?
Yeah, so integration with all kind of PropTech solutions.
Oh yeah, it's one of the main pieces of the puzzle. That integration and having that platform where people can share the data, create new technologies, new services, actually provide the value is going to be essential. But what we need to understand is that no company, no PropTech company by themselves can do that. And I believe there is a bit of a conflict of interest when it comes to that, because I'm sure that they want to do it all themselves, but this is just not how it's going to work in a smart city development like we have in Lakeview Village in Canada. It's the holistic, collaborative effort where we have the public, private, academia, and citizens all involved. And PropTech companies being part of this integrated platform is going to be a huge value, because it just saves time and money. And that's what our developer cities want.
What is the smartest city in the world right now, do you think?
It's a good question, because every time we talk about this, they all want to see this one case, use case. Where is it? Where has it been done? Of course, I'm sure you've heard about Seoul, Korea. It's like upfront with Songdo Smart City, government lead initiative in Sejong Smart City in Busan. But as of right now, I don't think that there is a smart city that actually qualifies to be called a smart city. It's a learning process. We all do it together through trial and mistakes. But hopefully we will have that one, and we'll be able to have that showcase.
Yeah, cool. So we have now small kind of developments all over the place, and we need to bring it together.
Yes, because smart city, you cannot do the entire Seoul you cannot make the entirety of Seoul smart. And we believe that a community development will have the biggest impact into the spread of the technology and improvement of the overall area. And that's why a mixed-use development, a TOD development, those are going to be like the main focus areas that we want to develop and create a showcase.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Baatar, and I hope to see you soon in real life in one of the events that will take place. And have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and good luck to the PropTech companies that are going to pitch.